1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everybody, I'm Rick Beato. That was the famous introduction to All the Things You Are that was played by Charlie Parker. When I was growing up, that's the intro that everyone played. Today's episode is going to focus on intros and endings and what you play on them. It's coming up next. If you don't have a specific intro like the Charlie Parker one on a standard, you can always take the tune from the bridge and use that as your intro. As a matter of fact, Keith Jarrett on the Standards Volume 1 version of All the Things You Are, he starts in G major on the bridge. So he starts here on the A minor 7. And then he goes to E major. You could also use this on a tune like Autumn Leaves when it goes to the bridge, where it goes to the 2-5 in E minor. That works great as an intro. Another great intro is to take the dominant of the key you're in and come up with an intro based on the 5 chord. Let's say you have a tune like My Romance, which is in B flat. So I can go to the dominant, which is F7, and do a series of chords increasing in tension and then go into the melody. Something like this. I'll start on F11 here. 2, 3, 4. Melody. That works great. I started on an E flat over F, which is an F11. Then I went to D major over F, which is like F13 flat 9. Then I went to F sharp major or G flat over F, which would give me a Phrygian sound, a flat 9 sound. Then I went to F7 sharp 9, and then into the melody. That would be considered a pedal point intro. You can also use intros like on bossa nova tunes. A tune like Girl from Ipanema has a natural intro that people play, which would be from F major 7 to G flat 13. The G flat 13 is functioning as a tritone sub instead of, but that's a very natural intro that people commonly play on that. Another common intro is to do a 2-5 vamp as the intro. There's a tune by Antonio Carlos Jobim called Wave that uses this, but any Latin tune can use the same intro. 2, 3, 4. And then it goes into D major there. But you could really do that with any. You can use that as a vamp for any tune. That's a Latin tune. That's very commonly used. Another intro for a Latin tune is to do a walk down based off the tonic of the tune, like in How Insensitive. Pat Metheny, when he plays it, he'll use a vamp, a descending vamp. The tune is in D minor, and he'll start on D minor 7. He'll play something like this, 3, 4. Then so that right there would be D minor, then D minor or D minor 7, then D minor 7 over C, then B flat major 7, then to the A7 sharp 5. That's a great intro. You could even do it a few times. You could do it as an outro. You could also use a different descending intro to How Insensitive. Let's say you start in D minor 11. Go something like this, 3, 4. So I went D minor 11, F major 7 over C, B minor 11 flat 5 to B flat major 7 to A7 sharp 5 to A7 flat 5, and then into the melody, right? That's a really cool intro that would work on many Latin tunes. Another progression that would work great as an intro is the descending half-diminished progression. This actually works as an intro or ending, depending how you use it. So let's say you're in All Things You Are, you're in A flat major. You start in the tritone, half-diminished chord based off the tritone. So here's A flat, the tritone is D. So you start on D half-diminished. I might start up here, D minor 7 flat 5. And now if I was going to go into the beginning, then I might go, and then go into the melody, right? Or at the end of the tune, you know, and then, okay, so I went D minor 7 flat 5, D flat minor 6 to C sharp minor 7 sharp 5, or that could be also A flat major add 9 over C to B 13 to B flat minor 7 to A flat major 7, which is a cool sound, to A flat 6 9, or I went to A flat major 7 sharp 11. You can also do it with the root off the 5th string. Start with D minor 7 flat 5 right here at the 5th fret, or 4th fret really, index finger there. Then you go to D flat minor 6, which is right there, so you go. Then you go to C sharp or C minor 7 sharp 5 to, which is a cool sound there. That's more like an Aeolian sound, B Aeolian sound. Then you're down to B flat minor 7, and you can continue on with the melody or the ending. So that's great sound. Another variation on that same progression is to add a diminished chord in place of the 13th chord. So right here. So I went to a diminished with a flat 13. So that's B diminished with a flat 13 to B diminished 7. Then okay, or you can go into the intro melody there. You can use it as an intro outro. It's also cool to solo on these progressions if you have a bass player and drummer that can follow you, or a piano player. So if I start on D minor 7 flat 5, I can play something like so on the D minor 7 flat 5, I'm playing. Then I'm resolving here to the D flat minor 6. I'm going. Then I'm resolving right there to the root of that chord. And then I go to the B flat to the B diminished. Then I'm going to the B minor 7. I think I played that, and then I went. So I play. So I'm using E flat augmented. So I played Now there's many different intros and endings. These are some of the most common ones that are used but the one thing that you really need to be able to do for an outro is the 3-6-2-5. That is really the key of outros, because that's typically when you're finishing a song. So let's say you have All the Things You Are and you're finishing it out and you're doing a 3-6-2-5 vamp. So you finish out all the things you are mine. Okay, so that's a common turnaround. So 3, but I'm using it could be 3, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. So you need to know that outro above anything else and how to solo on it. And that's one of the trickiest ones to play on. If you check out my Beato book, I have about, oh geez, I have a whole chapter on turnarounds over playing over that particular chord progression, 1625 or 3625. I have a whole etude on it, and it's really invaluable because those are the hardest progressions to play on and make it sound like you're actually making the changes. Lines like that make you sound like a bebop player, and you're playing over every single change. You're making all the right resolutions. You're playing chord tones on strong beats. You're playing non-chord tones and passing tones on weak beats. That's going to give you the bebop sound. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. If you're interested in the Beato book or my new course, Advanced Harmonic Concepts for Composition and Improvisation, you can go to my website at www.rickbeato.com and find it there. Also, remember, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.